50-30-20 budgeting rule explained for beginners. Here's the harsh truth. No matter how much you earn, if you don't manage your money wisely, it can slip through your fingers faster than you can say broke. But what if I told you that there's a simple formula, so simple you could start today, to take control of your finances, build wealth, and avoid that gut-wrenching panic when your bank account hits zero? Stick around, because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the 50-30-20 rule, a game-changing budgeting technique that's going to help you start building your future right now. The problem, the struggle with money. If you're anything like most people in their 20s and early 30s, budgeting might seem like a foreign concept. Maybe you've tried budgeting before, but it felt too complicated or too restricting. Or maybe you've just been winging it, hoping your paycheck will stretch enough to cover everything while still leaving room for some fun. Hey, we've all been there, eating ramen noodles at 11 p.m. because that's just how adulting works, right? But here's the catch. Without a plan, you're just hoping that things will work out. And if you're constantly scrambling to make ends meet, your financial future is at risk. So what do? How do you avoid the stress, the panic, the feeling of, I don't know where my money goes? This is where the 50-30-20 rule comes in. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's going to change the way you think about managing money. But first, let me break it down for you. The solution, breaking down the 50-30-20. Rule point 1, 50% for needs. Step 1, the 50 and the 50-30-20 rule is for your needs. These are the non-negotiable expenses that you can't live without. Things like rent or mortgage payments, utilities, groceries, healthcare, and transportation. Basically, the essentials. This category should take up no more than 50% of your take-home pay. Now here's the catch. If this part of your budget is eating up more than half of your income, you're in trouble. You're probably overspending on things you could cut back on, maybe living in a place that's too expensive or spending too much on takeout. This is the first place to check if you want to get serious about saving. Okay, before you panic, don't worry. I'm not saying you need to live in a cardboard box. We'll fix this. Point 2, 30% for wants. Next up, 30% of your income is for your wants. This is the fun part. It's your entertainment, dining out, shopping, subscriptions, everything that adds value to your life, but that you could live without. Things that make life enjoyable, but aren't absolutely necessary. Think about it. Would you die if you didn't have that extra streaming service? I know it's a hard truth, but sometimes we've got to be ruthless with our wants if we want that future freedom. While it's important to enjoy life and treat yourself, this category is where many of us go overboard. You can still live a rich, full life without going over budget on wants. The key is balance. Point 3, 20% for savings and debt repayment. And finally, the 20% of your income should go towards savings and debt repayment. This is where you build your financial foundation. It's the money you put away for your emergency fund, retirement, and even paying off high-interest debt. Look, I get it. Debt is suffocating. But this is the strategy that can set you free. It's not a quick fix. It takes discipline, but it works. If you've been wondering how to start saving for the future, or finally knock out that credit card debt, this is your answer. You know that feeling when you check your savings account and see it actually growing? Yeah, it's kind of like finding money under the couch cushions, except this is way more valuable in the long run. But here's the tricky part. How do you make these percentages work when your income isn't quite there yet? What if you're struggling with bills or don't know how to make room for saving? I've got you covered, because in the next section, I'm going to show you how to make the 50-30-20 rule actually work for you. Overcoming challenges and making it work. Point 4, adjust for your reality. Look, I know what you're thinking. What if I can't stick to this? The 50-30-20 rule is great in theory, but what if your rent takes up 70% of your paycheck, or your wants category feels too important to cut down? Don't panic. This is a guideline, not a rigid rule. If your needs are too high, start with small adjustments. Look for cheaper options, lower your rent if possible, or cut down on some of your recurring bills. If you're struggling to save, start with a smaller percentage and build it up as you go. The key is to take consistent action. Point 5, track your progress. Here's where the magic happens. Tracking. You can't improve what you don't measure. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or even a good old pen and paper to keep track of where your money goes each month. When you can see where you're spending, you'll know exactly where to cut back. Honestly, seeing your savings grow is like leveling up in a video game. Who doesn't love that feeling? Point 6, stay committed and be patient. Finally, remember that budgeting isn't about perfection. It's about progress. You won't always get it right, and that's okay. But as long as you stay committed to the process, adjust when necessary, and keep pushing forward, your future self will thank you. I'll be honest, the 50-30-20 rule isn't the only budgeting strategy out there, but it's definitely one of the easiest and most powerful to get you started on the path to financial freedom. Conclusion, call to action. So there you have it, the 50-30-20 rule, explained for beginners. Don't let financial stress control your life. Take action now. Start budgeting, start saving, and start building the wealth you deserve. But remember, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Like, subscribe and share this with someone who needs to take control of their financial future. You've got this, and I believe in you.